Our story begins on a bright, sunny morning, the kind that promises adventure, or at least a really good pastry. The city is just waking up, stretching its limbs and yawning with the rumble of buses and the chatter of early risers. Bartholomew, a man with a grand mustache that could rival a walrus and a jaunty red fez perched atop his head, strolls down a bustling city street, his pace leisurely, his mind perhaps already savoring the delights to come. He was a man of simple pleasures, Bartholomew, and today that pleasure was an eclair. He spots a magnificent cream eclair, nestled amongst its brethren in a bakery window, a beacon of sugary perfection. His heart's desire, the culmination of all his morning's hopes and dreams. It was a pastry worth pursuing, a culinary Everest to conquer. He digs through his pockets, a frantic search for the necessary funds, the gateway to his sweet reward. He finds a single coin, a lone warrior against the forces of hunger, and polishes it with determination, as if to imbue it with the power to purchase his dreams. Every gleam of light on that coin was a step closer to the eclair. As he reaches for the bakery door, anticipation building with each step, a mischievous gust of wind, a playful imp of the morning air, snatches his fez. The fez, now airborne, lands squarely on the head of a street performer's monkey, who, now blinded by the unexpected headwear, tosses its bananas into the air in a fit of bewildered panic. Bartholomew, aghast, lunges for his hat, a symbol of his dignity and, more importantly, his style. Forgetting the eclair entirely, the siren song of pastry momentarily silenced by the urgency of the situation. The monkey, sensing an opportunity for mischief, scurries away, bananas rain down upon the unsuspecting street, and Bartholomew, in his haste, slips on a peel, a victim of the monkey's fruity chaos. He slides uncontrollably across the pavement, a human puck on a banana-slicked ice rink, arms flailing, a desperate attempt to regain purchase on the treacherous ground, past the bakery, the object of his desire now receding into the distance, and a startled poodle walker whose perfectly coiffed companion yipped in surprise. The funky bass line kicks in, a soundtrack to the unfolding absurdity, narrating his banana-fueled ballet, a performance born of chaos and a misplaced fez. He spins, a dizzying pirouette of misfortune, narrowly missing obstacles with the grace of a seasoned acrobat, or perhaps just dumb luck, his dream pastry now a distant memory, fading like a mirage in the heat of the moment. Bartholomew is swept into a slapstick dance, a comedic whirlwind of unfortunate events, no longer in control of his fate, a puppet dancing to the tune of banana peels and mischievous monkeys. The city watches, a captivated audience to this unexpected street theater, as he becomes the unwilling star of a bizarre, slippery spectacle, a performance that will surely be recounted for years to come. His quest for pastry, once so simple, so attainable, has turned into a wild chase for his runaway fez, a symbol of the day's escalating absurdity. Bartholomew slide barrels on chaos, trailing behind. He spins backward, witnessing the mayhem, a tangled poodle leash a monkey and a fez scaling a lamppost. His journey ends as he collides with a massive security guard outside a jewelry store. Bartholomew bounces off landing with a comic thud. The guard glares, then points at the mess and at Bartholomew. No words needed. Bartholomew, sheepish, tries to retreat, but the banana peel still clings to his shoe. He slips again, stumbling straight through the open doors of a fancy department store. The guard sighs, shaking his head as Bartholomew vanishes inside. The funky music follows, echoing his troublemaking trail. The city resumes its rhythm, but Bartholomew's misadventure is far from over. The bakery, the monkey, and the elusive fez are all left behind, for now. Bartholomew's next act is about to begin. Inside the store, the music turns groovy and confused. Bartholomew, still with a banana peel on his shoe, stumbles into the cosmetics department. He bumps a display of bath bombs, sending them rolling like marbles. Shoppers dodge the chaos. A sharp-eyed manager spots him. Bartholomew, desperate, dashes for the escalators. He leaps onto the up escalator, but the manager is hot on his heels. In his panic, he turns around, now facing down as he's carried up. He tries to run down, but the escalator keeps moving him up. He's stuck in a frantic stationary sprint. The funky music swells, shoppers stare, and the manager waits at the top, arms crossed. Bartholomew's escape plan is a spectacular failure. He's trapped, running in place, the world's most frantic mannequin. The bath bombs keep rolling, the chaos below growing. The manager's patience is running out. Bartholomew, with a surge of adrenaline, leaps off the descending escalator. He's making a daring move, hoping to lose his pursuers in the labyrinthine department store. He lands, perhaps not as gracefully as he'd hoped, right in the heart of the men's formal wear department. A sea of impeccably tailored suits surrounds him. He finds himself surrounded by an army of silent, unblinking mannequins, all dressed to the nines in tuxedos. They stand like frozen sentinels, judging his every move. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and Bartholomew hatches a plan, a rather audacious plan, born of pure desperation and a touch of madness. With lightning speed, he swaps his own jacket for one on a nearby mannequin, hoping to create a momentary diversion. He then strikes a stiff, unnatural pose, attempting to mimic the unyielding stillness of his plastic counterparts. He closes his eyes slightly, slows his breathing, and tries with every fiber of his being to blend in with the inanimate crowd. The store manager, a hawk-eyed individual known for his attention to detail, scans the rows of mannequins, his gaze sharp and suspicious. Something feels amiss. Just then, a pesky fly, drawn perhaps by the faint scent of desperation, lands squarely on Bartholomew's nose. He fights with every ounce of willpower to suppress a sneeze, his face contorting into a mask of silent agony. The manager, noticing the almost imperceptible twitching of the mannequin, narrows his eyes and takes a step closer, his suspicion growing with each passing second. But alas, Bartholomew's resolve crumbles. He can't hold it any longer. A massive, explosive sneeze erupts from him, shattering the illusion. The force of the sneeze throws him off balance, and he stumbles awkwardly, breaking free from his carefully constructed pose. The manager points a triumphant finger, a look of vindication on his face. The jig is most definitely up. Thinking fast, Bartholomew grabs a nearby mannequin, hoisting it up with surprising strength. He then waltzes the poor, unsuspecting mannequin around the department, creating a whirlwind of chaos and confusion, a truly bizarre distraction. Shirts are ripped from their displays and go flying through the air like confetti. Expensive cufflinks are scattered like glittering shrapnel, bouncing off walls and displays. In the midst of the swirling dance, the mannequin's arm, unable to withstand the abuse, clatters to the floor with a dull thud. The manager, enraged by the destruction, gives chase, his face a mask of fury. But Bartholomew, fueled by adrenaline and a healthy dose of panic, spins away, still clutching the now armless mannequin, his movements surprisingly nimble. The music, as if sensing the escalating madness, turns wild and frenzied, perfectly matching the chaotic scene unfolding before it. Shoppers stop in their tracks, their faces a mixture of shock, amusement, and utter disbelief. They watch, half amused, half horrified, as the bizarre spectacle unfolds. Spotting a door marked "Staff Only," Bartholomew seizes the opportunity and bolts towards it, hoping it leads to a quick escape. The chase continues, now moving behind the scenes, through a maze of corridors and storage rooms, the manager hot on Bartholomew's heels. Bartholomew bursts into a dusty storage room, the manager hot on his heels, determined to stop him. Every shelf is stacked high with forgotten merchandise, casting long shadows in the dim light. He spots a rickety ladder tucked away in a corner and scrambles up, his heart pounding in his chest. He emerges onto the department store roof, gasping for breath. Across the gap, a chasm of open air, he spots the monkey, nonchalantly perched on the edge of the next building. The mischievous primate is still wearing his fez, cocked jauntily on his head, on a neighboring rooftop, seemingly enjoying the chase. Determined, Bartholomew eyes a laundry line, a precarious bridge between him and his quarry. It stretched taut between the buildings, laden with freshly washed clothes, a tempting but risky shortcut. He takes a deep breath and grabs on, shimmying across the makeshift tightrope, his feet dangling precariously as sheets and trousers flap wildly in the wind, threatening to knock him off balance. The music takes on a circus vibe, a whimsical soundtrack to his daring feat. Bartholomew is forced to limbo under hanging laundry, dangling high above the alley, a dizzying drop below. The monkey watches with amusement, munching an apple. seemingly unfazed by the unfolding drama. He's clearly entertained by Bartholomew's acrobatic efforts. Suddenly, a gust of wind whips up, and a sheet wraps itself around Bartholomew, turning him into a ghostly, flailing figure, a comical apparition against the urban landscape. Now blinded and disoriented, he shuffles blindly along the line, his progress hampered by the clinging fabric. The monkey chatters with laughter, finding the spectacle utterly hilarious. The city below remains oblivious to the rooftop spectacle, its inhabitants going about their day, unaware of the drama unfolding above. Bartholomew inches closer to his goal, the neighboring rooftop now tantalizingly close, but the wind has other plans, growing stronger with each passing moment. The sheet tightens its grip, his grip slips, the laundry lines slick beneath his gloved hands. The rooftop rumba is about to take a dramatic turn. A misstep could send him tumbling. The fez, the object of his perilous pursuit, remains just out of reach, a symbol of his increasingly desperate quest. Blinded by the sheet, Bartholomew loses his grip and plummets into a dumpster full of flour. He emerges, ghostly white, in a grimy back alley. His fez, dropped by the monkey, lands on a stray cat's head. The cat bolts. Bartholomew gives chase, a flowery specter after a red blur. He stumbles, trips, and gets stuck between a wall and a fence, wiggling free. The cat darts into the city's grand concert hall, fez still perched atop its head. Bartholomew, disheveled and determined, follows without hesitation. The alley echoes with the sounds of his clumsy pursuit. The city's rhythm continues, but Bartholomew's world is now a single red-capped cat. The concert hall doors close behind him, the next act set to begin. The flowery chase is far from over. Bartholomew, chasing the cat, runs straight into a grand public fountain. The flour on him turns to gooey paste. He emerges a soggy, doughy mess. The cat, startled, leaps away, sending the fez flying into the fountain. The fez floats just out of reach, bobbing on the water. Bartholomew wades in, slips, and sends a wave splashing over the edge. The fez drifts further away, pigeons scatter in alarm. Bartholomew sits, defeated, a baking disaster in a sea of dough. The security guard and store manager arrive, following the trail of chaos. They stare, bewildered, at the spectacle before them. The fountain scene is a portrait of slapstick defeat, but Bartholomew's resolve is unbroken. The cat, fez in mouth, darts into the concert hall. Bartholomew follows, trailed by the guard and manager inside. A symphony plays for a hushed, elegant audience. Bartholomew, dripping and doughy, crawls down the aisle, drawing gasps. The cat leaps onto the stage, weaving through the orchestra. Bartholomew clambers up, dodging musicians, eyes on the fez. The conductor glares, but the music continues. The cat drops the fez and scurries up the curtains. The fez lands at the conductor's feet. Bartholomew army crawls across the stage, the audience riveted, the symphony swells, drama peaking. The chase has become a silent slapstick ballet. The moment of truth is at hand. As Bartholomew reaches for the fez, the conductor steps back, flattening it. Bartholomew's silent scream is drowned by chaos as the monkey swings in, grabs the baton, and conducts a wild, frenzied orchestra. The music turns into a slapstick symphony. The audience and staff are frozen in disbelief. Bartholomew, thinking fast, stuffs the flattened fez into a tuba. With a mighty blast, the fez is launched across the hall, inflating midair. It lands perfectly on Bartholomew's head atop the concert hall steps. He adjusts it, beaming with triumph. The monkey, guard, manager, and orchestra stare in awe. Bartholomew gives a polite nod, then heads toward the bakery, his wild journey finally complete. The perfect pastry awaits, and this time, nothing will stop him.